Okay, so this is part 2 of the NBS antenna, or NBS mast, I suppose, in this case. But it's certainly a product by NBS Antennas out of Johnsonville in Victoria. Now, we've decided to do things a little bit differently. Normally, what happens with this fella here is that that'll be on the pole. There's a bolt that goes through here, and basically this here, the problem I had with it is that this pole comes down and sits on top of that bolt that's there. Now, I've talked to some very smart people, and they've said, try and imagine that 80 kilo pole, when it's vertical, flying up out of this, what is about 1 meter long, into it. And my reaction was, you're right, that'd be bloody hard. I agree. But just something insane in me said, well, I'd rather put the pole through to here, all the way to the bottom. I'm losing a little bit of height with it, I understand. So what we've done with the step drill, we've drilled quite a large hole there, so that when we put this on top of the tower, which you'll see us do in a minute, which is over there, the base of the tower, we'll be putting this pole into this pole over here, and we'll be securing it with a big bolt and nut that goes on it. Okay, hang in there, we'll be there soon. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're going to get a ladder put under this section here. And when I looked at Don's photos, one of the greatest things you could do is use ladders. It can save you a lot of energy. So we'll be putting a ladder also over on that side there, and we just need to push this through. Now, the idea is that, of course, we've got the length on the wrong side at the moment because it's just convenient for us to do that. And because we want to put a hole through our main piece like we've done, we're going to need to get that very accurately over in this section here. And this is all not hard. There's no problems, because what will happen is the jack here, will attach inevitably to this section here, and then we can just pull it over, and we'll probably just actually move it to like a halfway point to get a balance point for now. And then really our life is a lot easier. But we do need a ladder on that end for sure. So that's going to be our next trick. But so far so good. And as you can see, we've got our holes. We went a little bit larger with our holes on the side here, so that we don't sit there trying to juggle. We don't need that to be a perfect fit. We just need it to stop the pole from ever trying to get out of there. There you go. Riley's out there with his ladder. We probably need 2 ladders, one to jump over the fence with, and anyway, Riley's just so nimble. We probably will grab another ladder though. But how far into the block? I suppose we've got to go 9 meters. Yeah.
5 or 6 meters.
At least that ladder's tall enough to be able to make it. All right. Okay, so we're just going to go do that, and we'll come back to you. All right, as you can see, as per usual, we're losing light, but very easy. All we did was just popped it up, and we've got our piece here ready to go. So we'll be pushing this through to Riley, and as you can see, our ladders are working to our advantage at the moment until something stuffs up. We'll then lift it up. Once it's down this end, we'll just have that hole come through to meet this hole right here even, and then it will be all bolted in. We should be able to put the jack straight onto it, and we should be able to winch it up. So we'll see. And my gorgeous, gorgeous Samantha's home. Say hello, Samantha.
Hello.
Righto, back to you in a minute. Okay, here we are, and as you can see, we've actually taken the pole down to the bottom. Now, we can change that because we are definitely losing about a meter, but we just wanted to see how it goes. So we've got a bolt that goes straight through there. Not particularly done up tight yet, which should be. Anyway, but as you can see, the time has got the better of us. Riley is pumping away here. It is definitely harder, and just watch that flex that the pole gets, Riley. It's nice and easy if it starts getting a bit of a alley-oop, where it was all the stones coming out of the bottom here. So basically, we're bringing the 9 meter pole up into the air, and as you can see, it sort of just goes into our neighbour's yard, which we've got great neighbours, thank goodness. And Riley's having fun. You puffed out yet?
No.
No? Easy?
Young.
Young. Hello, Sam. Have a look at this, guys. This is all the rocks coming out of the pole. There you go. Keep going, Rolls. Excellent. All right, so up she goes. It's about 45 degrees at the moment. As you can see with the jack, it's doing what it needs to do. It pivots as it needs to. It brings itself backwards and pushes up at the same time. Ideally, you know, that'll end up being a fully upright position when we lock in the bolt on the bottom. But as you can see, there's a nice set of holes there. They've got to match that set of holes. So that's your distance that Riley's got to get, you know, still. So there's a bit of work there. And he's young. He's very young. So this will help us a bit. Now, I don't know if we'll do the down video tonight. I know we promised to to do that, but time has got the better of us. I was particularly busy today, and so was Riley with school. So we got onto this about 4:30, and of course, by the time we worked out, we needed about 16 ladders and a few things just to make this all happen, mainly because of the fence. As you can see, we had to jump fences a bit. I wasn't prepared to wreck the fence, so over we went. But anyway, that's all going up. Now, what are my comments so far? I like it to a certain degree, but I like it more because once this bit's over, the good bit starts. Now, the reason we will actually drop it tonight is tomorrow's job will be to put the pulley on, so we'll need it down anyway to do that. But I was very adamant that I wanted this going up and down before we went to bed tonight. So we're getting there. So what we're going to do in a second is we're going to lock the tower into place, and then I'm going to switch places with Riley. I'm going to be the one that brings it down. And as you've seen on my YouTube channel, some people have said, be very, very careful when you're bringing it down. Now, I don't have an antenna on top, so in theory, that should be pretty bloody easy. The jack shouldn't really be a problem, but we sort of know from people we've spoken to, you know, don't count your chickens just yet. So as far as I'm concerned, I'll be putting it into place in a second. Taking it out of place, and I'll be slowly letting it down. So just hang in there. Riley's got it up there. So there we go. Totally upright. Geez, I tell you, they got a little bit of movement in them though, up the top. I can already see that. This is going to be interesting. I'm still keeping my comments to myself until we know for sure. But this is part 2, of course, of the NBS tower installation at Tangambalanga, and it looks further than what it really is on this video, doesn't it? And Riley looks like he's pretty fit. So Riley's going to put the bolt through there. He's no need to put the nut on because we're going to take it down. But the idea is that's how it locks in a position, and then bang, you know, you're fine. With the use that we've got here in Tangambalanga, we will never need to. We're going to cut that tree back there. So Riley, just put your hand on the shed, the top of the shed there. Where Riley's hand is, the antenna will lower right down to that position. So we can walk around a 4-element quad that's going to be here, let's say. I'm not even sure the 4-element quad's going. It might go on the other one. But we can basically just go around on ladders and we can just do it from there. So it's very unusual for us. We could put the antenna on right here, and we can take it off right here. Why would we bend it over to there if there is some truth in the fact that people have lost their antennas due to this hydraulic jack system? All right, now we're going to change users of the phone, and I'm going to go over and I'm going to have a little look at this, and Riley's probably going to have to help me because I reckon it's going to have a tilt point, and that's going to be the interesting bit. When I try to move it out this way, you know, you've got to be very careful how much you're taking off that jack. So let me just pause for a tick. We'll just get Sam onto the camera, and Riley and I will be the people trying to kill ourselves. Righto, the other thing I need to point out, have a look at this. Now, I know it's not obvious, but this said something, didn't it? Look, these have been sitting around for 2 years now. So please, the people that have sort of said, or there's somebody, look, let's just go with the details. NBS Antennas and Masts. Now, I know you can't see the NBS anymore, but what you can see...
You can sort of see it.
Sort of see it?
Yeah, you can see it.
Have a look at this. Oh, okay, but have a look at this. But this definitely says what? NBS, right, okay. So, just to the people that are saying that we might have made them ourselves, these towers, we did not make them ourselves, you know? Anyway, so there you go. All right, so Sam, you're just not going to stand there because that's a bad place to be.
Oh, I'm moving.
Only because of that there. But Riley's going to come on this side of it here for a second. So what we're doing with it's like a jack, like you're doing a car tyre. Basically, you over here, Riley, because I don't want you, just in case it was to let go. is
Take the bolt out.
take the bolt out. It's a good idea. Riley's clever. Okay.
Just step back.
And we will have to jack it up tonight, so it's not just sitting there all night, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so
Riley, do you want to just step to your right just a little bit? And just so
Right.
you're not in the shot of the camera so we can...
as long as you're not hurting yourself. Right. Okay, so we're letting it out a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pressure off the jack a little bit, Riley. So just a little bit. Oh, there you go. So what I'm doing, just for the audience, is I'm going back and forth, turning it, and I'm sort of letting a bit go and then stopping it, letting a bit go and stopping it, letting a bit go and stopping it. Let me just make a comment already. I would hate to be doing this with a big bloody antenna on top of this. I don't like this at all. Everything is moving, everything is bouncing, and I can see how this could end badly, absolutely. But, and I'm just stopping it again a little bit. I'm going nice and easy. All right, guys, that is without an antenna on it, down to its full position right there. So, okay, how do I feel about this? My initial reaction was panic. I've got to be honest, was panic. As I first turned it and it started to wobble everywhere, I thought, wow. And that's when I made the comment, geez, I'd never do this with an antenna on the top of it. It bounces. Just with this, you need to click on, click off, click on, click off, click on, click off. That's like wash on, wash off, you know, like you're too young to know the
Wax
karate.
on.
Wax on, wax off. Yeah, sorry, that's it. Wax on, wax off. All right, okay, enough of that. So, to Brendan and a few of the others who said, listen, you know, be careful, these things are bloody dangerous. I can see absolutely how they can be dangerous. If you just sat there and went, bang, oh boy, you need to be really calculating your turns on this. So you are definitely wax on, wax off, because that has to be, you know, how it is. Some of the guys have had very, very big beams on these things, and so they'd have to be doing that even more. But what some people have said, even with what they've tried to do with what I just explained, their towers and their antennas have hit the ground and they've absolutely just smashed to bits. So one thing to be aware of is if you can use this tower like we're going to put it up. It's going to be vertical in the air. All antennas are going to go on while it's vertical. All antennas are going to come off while it's vertical. So make yourself some room if you've got it. I know this tower is sold on the basis of you don't need much room, but you don't need much room if you're going to bend your towers over. But I don't like that idea. That's just a personal comment. That is not a slur on NBS antennas. I just don't think I'd like to be lowering a big multi-element beam worth maybe, you know, a couple of $1,000. Like I know one guy's got a step IR on there worth probably $4,000. That step IR hits it, the motors go, everything goes. Terrible. So, you know, you don't want that. But did we find success today? I think so. Look, I think the product for $1,800 did what you would think $1,800 would do. Does it have some refinements that it could use? Well, we're going to find out, because whilst we're under lights tonight, we're not going to do much more. But tomorrow, part 3, we're going to have a look at just putting some stuff on it and how it handles it. And hopefully we have a little bit of wind, so that we can have a look at, you know, how the wind, maybe the wind after. Put the antenna on first, wind after. Okay, so 73s from VK3 Charlie Mike. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe. Really loving your comments, especially on this subject, because you haven't been scared to say something that goes against what I'm saying. I want that. I want to hear what you've got to say that says, have you thought about this? What about the, you know, the guys where the antennas have hit the ground? Anyway, all good. Okay, 73s, thanks very much. We'll see you on part 3. All the best. Cheers.